Who's more likely to be the villain in a high school story, the jock or the theater kid? Like, we both know the answer to this question. There's an elephant in the room I feel like no one addresses when it comes to writers writing their own characters, and it's desire and trauma. Writers kind of rewriting their youth to give them like 2 hours where it's like, yes, on prom night, I did punch the jock. I did get the girl. Like, I would never make fun of the plot of the Back to the Future. There's nothing wrong with that plot, and I would certainly never insult Back to the Future because plots, it's okay to reuse plots. Like, I mean, aliens invading the world, and the stakes are the world is about to end. We're all probably thinking of a different movie because of how many times we've seen that. But with this understanding that like plots can be reused, like we should also come to the understanding that characters should be identifiably different within media. And it's interesting to kind of like look at the way that I used to write. So like back in like 2013 when I was like a freshman in high school, that I remember that I was really into the TV show The Walking Dead, and like my friends, they were also into it, and they would be like, Nick, like if zombies ever invaded while we were at school, or the zombie apocalypse ever started while we were at school, where would you hide out? And like we would like partake in this like fantasy. And I remember that I ended up writing a story about a guy named Nick who, like, zombie apocalypse started while he was at school. He was the hero. He saved the day. He got his crush. Like, it was pretty freaking cringe. And like I gave him like proper like Master Chief cutscenes, and I gave him like proper Master Chief action scenes. Like, it was just a beefed up version of myself. But at some point it hit me down the line that characters shouldn't just be a carbon copy of either the writer or like another character from fiction, because if you just copy and paste another person's character, like you're not gonna have like that like writer's knowledge of like what makes that character tick. Like, of course you can figure it out through like the course of the story, but it's like there are even like secret things that the author doesn't reveal to the audience, that way so that it's like, yeah, this is my character. No, not with that in mind, but like that way so that it's easier to write the character and so that they actually know their character because they made it. So what's the solution to this? Well, I always referred back to my character sheet, the character sheet. It's where I write my characters' wants, needs, like personality, their beliefs, and like the kind of like past trauma that has informed their beliefs. Like that, referencing back to that one sheet of paper that I have for like each of my characters, which it's like, I've got like 4 characters written on it, but it's like 5 pages long, and it's like, it's incredible. It is such a good resource for writers. So, and like, it's not anything that you have to download. Just go onto Microsoft Word or to Google Docs. I don't have Microsoft Word anymore because Microsoft, Bill Gates, he found out that I'm not in college anymore. So he like snapped my account away, or my accesses away. So yeah, but now I write on Google Docs, and you just open up a document and you write out those things that I've listed. You write who they are and like all these things that make them tick, how they interact with the world, what they believe. And like, it's such a good sheet to reference back to when you're like writing. You're like, I don't know how the character would react to a situation like this. No, it's a god tier resource. And also kind of listen to your gut. Like, know that if your character is like too similar to like another character that you've seen in media, like of course accidents happen, and like physical appearance is something else, because it's like, oh, this character had long brown hair. Like, there's only so many hairstyles you can do, even in like anime or something. Like, but for this video, I have an unethical tip for you all. So we are now in the unethical section of the video. I love this section. So what I would recommend for like an unethical tip is to combine like 2 to 3 characters. Combine like 2 to 3 characters that you like, or like aspects of those characters. So I recently wrote a character who's never been in a relationship before, and I started to think, like, what does that say about the character? Like, they've had kisses with other people, and they've like hugged other people, they've whatever, but they've never been in an actual relationship. Like, whether it's due to like rejection, or it's just like, I don't know, their own self-sabotaging. There it is. That's what I was looking for. and I'm like, what does that say about this person? Like, if they've gone through a lot of rejection, then it's either that they're like, they can either take like one of two approaches that I've seen to this. It's either they're kind of cynical towards dating, where it's like, I don't want to do that, or it's like they're like, well, of course that happened. But it's like they're not salty about it. They've got like kind of like a good heart about it, and they're like kind of like kind. And I was like, that kind of reminds me of this one aspect of this other character from this movie that I watched. And I was like, let me just, like I'm Thanos, like taking the time stone out of Vision, or not the time stone, whatever. And I was like, let me just take that from this character and then just like put it into mine. And then I was like, all right, like if this character kind of behaves in this like good-hearted way, then like they probably also have a quiet understanding of others. Like they can probably like look across the room and be like, that person is sad. I don't like that. So I was like, all right, that reminds me of another character. Let me just write that into the character sheet. Let me just, again, pluck the stone from Vision, like, into my character. Simple. I have a video on how to make characters more complex. Watch that. It's right here. So, all right. I'll see you later, bro.